Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Tim Meyer, here for the Romeo Sports Recap, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. And before we begin, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com. I'm Tim Meyer, and I have as my guest today the head varsity lacrosse coach, Jack Smith. And Jack, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Tim. Excited to be here and excited to talk about all things Romeo Lacrosse.
Well, let's get right to it. I mean, you guys are 4-8 this year. You had a tough streak after a 2-1 start and ran into a tough Grand Ledge team, and it seemed to spiral into 6 straight losses.
Yeah.
Any reasons for that, or?
I mean, it starts with Grand Ledge. I mean, they're going to be a team that's going to be playing really deep into May. Obviously they have some superstars on the offensive side of the ball, and then when you have a faceoff specialist as good as Landon Parker, it's a lot of make it, take it. And then, when we got into the thick part of that streak, all those teams are very strong. Lake Orion's
a good side, I know.
Lake Orion's really good. Hazlitt's a really strong team. Grand Blanc is going to surprise a lot of people this year. For a team that's, resilient, always trying to fight for everything, it was a really, really good test for us, and excited to kind of be on the back half of the season where we can prove ourselves in our conference tournament and then into the playoffs.
Yeah, and it seemed like really promising. You had some big victories against L'Anse Creuse and L'Anse Creuse North. We'll look at some highlights here from the L'Anse Creuse game. Lincoln Lepazic would score the game's first goal, making it 1-0 Romeo. And then Seth Sarich takes this pass from number 2, Adam Polis. We're going to run it now. You see Adam behind the net.
Yeah, this is L'Anse Creuse is running what we call a zone defense, 2-3-1. So we counter with a 1-4-1 formation with scissor cuts in the middle. And for those at home that think I'm speaking Spanish right now, basically we're trying to occupy as much space in front of the net, and one guy's got to make a decision, and Seth Sarich was the one that was open.
And our next clip, you had good defense there with a 2-0 lead. At 10:15 time code, we had good defense by Romeo, which leads to a L'Anse Creuse turnover.
Yeah, I know the defense really had a focus this year on doubling the ball behind the net. The idea in lacrosse, especially on defense, is they can't score behind the net. So we want to, double the ball as good as possible. Brody came off the pick, and then actually Mike Bellier did a really good job of sliding to Jason Lee and doubling the ball as well. So really good team effort right there.
And then we go to time code 12:09, and this was when the Bulldogs made it 3-0 on a great effort by Adam Polis.
Yeah, and it was a really good job reading the defense, getting up the hash. His man plays off. He looks like he's going to be passing the ball, but slides his shoulder and gets up the hash. It's a really good take. And
at 16:02, just before the first quarter would end, Landon Dolan just kind of whips this shot.
Yeah.
I mean, he whips it right past the goalie for a 4-0 Romeo lead.
Yeah, it looks like Landon just saw the middle of the field. I mean, they seek out to the middle of the field. Nothing crazy about that, just finding space, getting his hands free.
And that was the end of the first quarter. And we moved into the second quarter at 18:52. Romeo, L'Anse Creuse had a power play, and Romeo does a good job of killing it here with some good effort.
Yeah, it collapsed in the middle of the field. I mean, we want to give Braden Walls the best opportunity to save the ball. So, kind of showing a little bit on the middle of the field, thinking it's open. We call it fool's gold. So L'Anse Creuse threw the ball in the middle, and we just collapsed at the last second. Got a little a stop right there on man down defense.
And at time code 23:41, Landon Dolan had a pretty aggressive hit there. He got a penalty for that.
I mean, it's tough to see the 5'7" kid in the middle of the field at full speed.
Yeah.
But Landon's aggressive. He did what he was supposed to do. Just got to make sure he keeps his hand low and not hit someone in the face.
And at 27-12, you're still playing great defense.
Yeah, it looks like we just have a one slide. Our Jason helped out right there, and then Birdie gets the ball, gets upfield. Just a really good team effort right there on defense.
And we can stop it there after this one, and just want to, let's talk about Dolan's hit.
Yeah.
I watch out there when I'm watching the games, and our guys are taking it.
Yeah.
And I've seen worse happen to our guys.
Yep.
And he made a body check that I think, NHL players would be proud of.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, did he feel bad after?
I think he didn't think he did anything wrong, which is kind of normal. We teach our players to like protect themselves as much as possible and not throwing hospital passes to the middle of the field. I mean, Landon just played the ball. His hands got a little high. I mean, a lot of stuff is up to the refs discretionary when making those calls. You don't want to punish another team for another team setting their own team up for like failure. But yeah, I'm sure he felt pretty bad. The kid got up though. It wasn't like we carved.
No, yeah, he wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Kayla came out and then she went right back.
Yeah. She pulled the gator up and then did a Yui right away. So.
Yeah. 27-39. This effort by Adam Polis made it 5-0 Romeo.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like just Adam just getting to the middle of the field. When defenses like kind of get lured into a zone, they think they're always going to help in the middle, and that defenseman kind of gave topside up, thinking that he'd have help. There was none, and Adam got to the middle of the field, got a great shot on Cage.
And we go to time code 31:51, just before the half. Goalie Braden Walls makes this big stop.
Yeah, in class,
the guy was right in on it.
Yeah, in classic Braden Walls fashion, everyone thinks it's gonna be a goal, go right to the faceoff, but Braden does a really good job of standing on his head in big moments, and he does so on that play right there.
I wish I could stand on my head.
Yeah, I can't either.
I'd probably crush my neck.
Yeah, I lose a couple vertebrae, get smashed down.
And we go to the second half. At time code 33:55, and Noah Saric would open the scoring in the third quarter with this nice effort.
Yeah, it looks like some reluctant defense to help out their goalie.
I mean, he had been the most surprised guy in the building.
Yeah, I think. Well, Noah does a really good job getting the ball on the ground into his stick and to a place where we have an advantage. I mean, I think he's at 8 goals this season as a long stick midi, so he's a threat not only defensively, like in between the 40s, but also pushing transition.
At 43:09 time code, Lance Cruz would score, but Joey Zyrick would score, making it 7-1 Romeo, and he whistles this one.
Yeah, stepping into space, don't leave 44 open, 15 yards above the net. So, just kind of some defense to kind of let him get to the middle and get his hands free and get a good shot on Cage.
At 46-17, Lance Cruz will get another goal again, but Landon Dolan will make it 8-2 with this nice tip in.
Just a very, very fortunate play that goalie hit the ball out of the air into his own net. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a little bit like a hockey tip.
Yeah.
Going right in the net. But at 48-28, Seth Saric would make it. He rifles this one past the goal. You see it here.
Yeah, we tell our kids that if we're going to feed the crease, if it's not going to get to someone's stick, it can leak through to someone behind them. Seth does a really good job just getting behind a crease guy that gets a stick knocked down, picks up, and just gets it on Cage.
And they made it 9-2 Romeo, and we went to 51-08, and Brody Giancona starts the fourth quarter with this big hit.
Yeah, nice little clean shoulder to chest hit. Surprisingly, the kid's like a foot shorter than him, so good for him getting low and keeping it clean.
He does a great job there. And it seemed to ignite us, to spark us to 6 unanswered goals at 54:09. Second of those 6 unanswered was by Joey Zyrick again.
Yeah, just another good time of just ball movement, catching the zone a little bit lazy up top and just stepping in and getting a good shot on Cage.
And we moved to 56-20. The third unanswered goal was scored by number 33, Cormac Young. It was good to see him on the scoreboard.
Just a really good through pass by Seth, like see in the middle of the field. And Cormac has just a great shot right there, and love having him in the middle of the field shooting. So really good take.
at 57-15, and this is almost right after. I mean, look at Brody with this effort.
Yeah, Brody Giacomo just being an athlete, a little toe drag at the end for the highlight tape, and getting a good shot on.
And you got Salioni makes it 14-2 with this dunk shot at time code number 5959.
Yep, just a nice little back cut to the back pipe. Adams got his eyes up. I mean, that's just textbook, how do you beat a zone defense.
And the final goal by Romeo was scored by number 2, Adam Polis, who makes a fine play here at time code number 1 minute and 2 seconds.
Yeah, actually, and what's really cool about that is Landon Dolan does a really good job dragging 2 people off the wing. Adam just fills space where guy needs to be and gets fished in front of the cage.
So your final score is 16-2. Is it good for your team to have a route like that?
I mean, this was fairly early in the season, so it was nice to see a product on the field and see where we can, where we need to adjust to. But obviously, anytime you win, it's
because you had a lot of guys score. I mean,
sure.
different guys scoring, so that would help. And we're going to go to the game on the 5th of April against L'Anse Creuse North.
Yep,
another team that came west here, and I'll take a look at that one here.
Yeah, this is a great game for us too. L'Anse Creuse North is a little bit, a little more experienced, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So we knew it'd be a good test for our offense. We knew going into the season we'd have a very strong defense. So, this year has been a lot of ups and downs of keeping our offense even keeled and making sure we're staying patient and doing things right at full speed. So this is another good test against us against a 1-4-1 zone.
And we'll go to time code 10:04. And Romeo would strike first in this one. Cameron Lucas took a beautiful pass from Adam Polis and stuffed it home for the first goal of the match.
I mean, just textbook, cutting the backside pipe as your ex-attacking brings upfield. Adam, when he does that, brings not only his defenseman who's on ball, but the man in front of him as well. And Cam just follows the slide and dunks on the backside.
And at 21:50, Romeo would score again. Number 51, Austin Finley whips the shot past the L'Anse Creuse North netminder.
Yeah, I'm sure as you've seen the games this year, Austin Finley loves to shoot the ball. So it was nice to get him open in the middle of the field and finding some good opportunities. A really good look by Seth Sarich.
At 31:16, L'Anse Creuse North would score, making it 2-1 Romeo. The Bulldogs answered back. Your star here, Joey Zyrek, he just gets in close into the middle. We could stop it there. He gets in close into the middle, and unless you're hacking him, and he gets a clean look at it, I mean, 99% of the time it seems like he's going to put it in.
Yeah, I mean, we tell all of our players not to top down feed, but when you're dragging a man upfield with you, you're likely to get support from the middle of the field defensively, and Joe's wide open, and there's not a lot of people in the state I would take other than Joe Zyrek when he's got the ball within 5 yards of the net.
Yeah, I mean, at 34:50 of the game, Adam Polis made it 4-1 Bulldogs here with this individual effort.
Yeah, just a really good job just getting through. I know at this point of the game, we were wondering if he had the ability to get topside. Some zones don't allow it, and he had a shorty behind the net, and the defenseman was too far away to support, so just gets up the field and up the hash and get to the backside pipe.
And at 30:38, with 21 seconds left in the first half, Joey Zyrek again would strike, whipping this shot past the L'Anse Creuse North goalie, making it 5-1 Romeo at the half.
Yeah, it's a little deep for my liking, but he does a really good job getting to the middle of the field. It looks like we're going to bang the ball one more time to Austin Finley. He'll probably get back to Joe's stick, but just a really good look. Ball movement kills zones, but it's just a really good take. Good shot.
Now that one was the miss.
It's coming back around.
He's going to get it again. Romeo will have the ball, and he'll get it again. I may have got a little ahead of myself.
I think it's going to come because I think Hebel cuts his backside. It's going to move to LJ, and then he might get him on the roll or, yeah, right there. Yeah, it's the same clip. Yeah.
Yeah. So we go to 38-40. There it is. 38-40.
That's 30-35.
Yeah, we want to go to 38-40. It's not in there.
We can go to the next one.
Yeah, he's got it. He's a clever guy.
yeah, we don't want to show same stuff over again
Yeah.
here, but seem to be in their end quite a bit in this game. There's a goal there by Joey.
Yeah, just rolling to get into a strong hand. Sometimes zones slide to they really support the middle of the field, so you gotta attack it from the perimeter sometimes.
Oh, it's 5-1 Romeo, and we go to 41-35. Beginning the second half, Braden Walls keeps it 5-1 with this big save.
Yeah, just good staying in cage, staying tall in cage. Like to get the ground ball after, but it's really good save by Walls.
And 42-25 is the Lance Cruz North goal. They'd eventually score, making it 5-2.
Yeah, just gotta make sure that we're staying in contact when we're getting up the field. Be able to have a slide right there. Because we lose our man at X and we don't have any contact on him, we're not gonna be able to turn him back and get support to the middle of the field from our end.
Joey Zyrick would answer back with this skip shot that beats the Lance Cruz North goalie. That made it 6-2 Romeo, and that's time code 45-48.
Yeah, this is a really good heads up play. I mean, he's looking out of the box to see if there's sub coming, but if we're at the hash at 10 to 12 yards, it's a shot every single time.
And doggone it, Joey would score again. But he gets a good feed from Adam Polis, making it 7-2 at time code 51-28. It looks like Adams sees him, and
Yeah, just a really good through pass. Joe does a really good job of actually hitching and getting to a better shot. So just really good heads up play.
at 53:02, this loose ball is picked up by Jackson Rice, who takes it up the field and passes to Silvio Palumbo, who whistles a shot past Lance Cruz North goalie.
Yeah, this was actually probably the highlight of the night. Silvio's been playing lacrosse for this is his second season, so good to see him getting involved in just transition offense.
And how about this effort here on time code 54-21 by Lincoln? Lepeziak, he intercepts this pass and makes a nifty move for another Romeo goal.
Yeah, Lincoln's been really good in the ride this year. He's one of those kids that had to sit last year for an injury, and he's been really, really, really helpful in the ride and creating opportunities outside and settled offense and in transition as well.
So that made it 9-2 Romeo, or 8-2. Yeah, 9-2 Romeo. And then 8 seconds later, scores again at 55:02 on the time code. Is that the quickest back-to-back goalie by the same player?
I mean, I would love for him to pick that up instead of hockey it in, but I mean, Seth Sarich on the face-off pushes transition to Sal Leone. I mean, yeah, it's pretty quick. If you have a really, really good face-off and a really good attackman, you could score. I've seen it in the college level, Division I, 3 goals in like 35 seconds, 40 seconds. So it's possible to.
So we had the score of 10-3. Adam Polis would find a cutting Sal Leone, who makes no mistake, making it 11-3 at 56:22. And it'll come here and pick it up. And here he is. And he's big body.
Yep. Yeah, the Magic Man. Just cut the backside pipe.
Yeah, he can get up there and at a high reach and can get that ball. And at 103:18 in the fourth quarter, Landon Donlin would cut towards the net and take this pass, burying it for another Romeo goal.
Just another getting up the hash by Adam, hitting the backside pipe. I mean, just textbook lacrosse right there, doing a really good job of creating opportunities and capitalizing on them.
And then you got a nice effort from Connor Hevel, making it 13-2 Romeo at the 107 13 mark.
Yes, this is a great job by Connor, just getting up the hash. Nice little roll to freeze his man at the triangle behind the net.
Sort of underhanded it under him.
Yeah, a little sidewinder.
Little flick. And Romeo would eventually go on to win this one 14-2. And so you felt pretty good at 2-1, and you had the streak. But this last week's been pretty good for you. You won 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Decent opponents, and the one that you lost to, Macomb, Dakota, it was a very physical match.
Yeah.
How do you think? Did it kind of surprise your guys, or?
I mean, we Dakota always has us circled. Those games in the past 3 years have been 1 to 2 goal games, and I'm sure they would have liked to have last year's game back. So they came back with some vengeance, and I mean, I wouldn't say that we were entirely shell shocked. We've had an issue this year of either not being able to finish a game or to rise to the occasion, and a lot of that comes with experience and age.
Mm-hmm.
We're talented. We have great stick skills and good understanding of the game, but just finding that tempo and that pulse. And Dakota, they come with experience and a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. So we're likely to see them again in the MAC tournament. So we'll see how the second game goes and go from there.
I mean, you were down 5-0 in that game early, and the guys hung in there and started coming back.
Yep.
And I think what did the old quarterback for the Lions, Bobby Lane, used to say? He never lost a game. He just ran out of time.
Yep.
And so I don't know if that's the case here, but at least your guys showed a lot of comeback.
Yeah, that's what it kind of felt like. It's like if it's so funny because when I was coaching in college, the quarters are 15 minutes. And in high school, it's 12. So you're essentially almost losing a full high school quarter. We just got to be better at just, throwing the first punch and being fully locked in for 4 quarters. But yeah, it felt like we just kind of ran out of time. We sparked at the wrong time and didn't stop their lead quick enough.
Yeah. Like you say, you're gonna face them again in the tournament. So we all look forward to that one probably. So you have 3 games left, regular season. They're all on the road, Grosse Pointe North, Grosse Pointe South, and then you got to go to Clarkston. What are you seeing in those games?
I mean, they're all must wins in my opinion. They're all super, super attainable as well. I mean, Grosse Pointe North tomorrow and South on Wednesday are big conference games for us. And Clarkston's always a really strong team. They won the OA last year. I think they went down to the semifinals in the States. But they graduated a lot of talent, so we're hoping to kind of catch them in an off year. And we also are likely to play them in the playoffs. They're in our region, so just trying to take it every day. But really, the big thing with this team is take it quarter by quarter, minute by minute, and just trying to win our possessions and
try to move the ball a little bit. Back and forth passing.
Yeah, keeping it hot. Yeah,
like a power play almost.
Yeah.
So I mean, me personally myself, if I get the ball, I know they're coming at. I get rid of it right away.
Yeah.
There's no way, you'd get me to pass it. I'll tell you what, Jack. Why don't we talk to some of the players? And thank you for coming on. And wish you luck the rest of the season. We'll be looking at you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, Jack.
Before we continue, here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com.
Here with Romeo players from the defensive side of the ball, Brody Giancona and Noah Sarek. And gentlemen, welcome to the Romeo Sports Recap.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Let's talk defense for lacrosse. What kind of assignments do you guys have that you have to pay attention to when you're on defense?
For me, we played 2 different positions. So for me, usually I guard the left side, the lefty attackman, because my stick's upfield because I'm right side. I'm right-handed. So usually that's the better player or their shooter. So usually I just guard him.
And I'm a long stick midfielder, so once Mitty that was playing offense comes off the field, I sub in to play defense. And then once we either get a turnover or a save, then I go out and get that Mitty back on.
So Noah, you play on the Romeo Varsity hockey team.
I do.
How much of How much of that skill transfers to?
Honestly, not a ton, but like your awareness is definitely better. Like, say if someone's like running at you, or you can kind of know where you're at a little more without having to like look around and being aware of everyone else around you, I guess.
Does it help that you have a stick in hockey and you have to keep an eye on the puck? Or does it help you with your stick in lacrosse when you're catching passes? Or?
I wouldn't say catching and passing, but when the ball's on the ground, it's definitely easier to like knock it around or be able to like put it past people, or whichever way you want to put it.
And Brody, I mean, you're laying some people out like a middle linebacker out there in lacrosse, but when you're whacking somebody with the stick, and now you must have a technique to try to get the ball out of their racket.
I mean, yeah, there's a couple of checks you could throw. I mean, it's kind of hard to show you without like having a stick in my hand, but
Well, I don't want to get hit.
yeah, but yeah, there's like obviously techniques to try to get it out. You're not just hitting them for fun. I mean, sometimes, but other than that,
When you're smacking them a little bit, I mean, are they saying like, "Ow, ow, ow"?
so, I mean, sometimes
Do they? Do
yeah.
they?
just to try to get a penalty, but usually that's what it is.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about your team so far this year. You had some games where you guys just wipe people out. Had some games, tough games like a CC and Grand Ledge that kind of, I mean, when you're going through a game like that and they're just, scoring, what goes through your mind there?
I mean, you're always trying to like personally, you're trying to play as well as you can, like no matter what's happening. But I would say as the Romeo lacrosse team, we have a lot of really good players, but we don't have a lot of like team chemistry together, especially in moments like that. Like if we go down a lot, sometimes we're not like all as connected as we should be.
You think people try to press individually?
Oh no, at times, yeah, and like you wouldn't name names. Like I'm sure myself, I can do it at times too, but I feel like in those moments, for us to be better as a team, there needs to be more unity or togetherness.
What would you call that? Team play?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Compare this team this year to last year's team. How would you compare them?
I mean, obviously we lost Dom, who was like the staple of our defense last year. It's been coming along, trying to figure out how to piece it together with our defensive side, especially. I mean, obviously like our communication's a little bit off, but we're building it, the chemistry and the communication well, I guess, this year. I mean, sometimes we have our moments where we fall apart and kind of need to bring it back together. So, I mean, that's kind of
Good thing the coach doesn't have a stick, right?
Yeah.
There were coaches back in the day that dished out corporal punishment. I'm not going to name who they are at Utica Community Schools, but there's a few of them that would get physical with you. But you got the message,
Yeah.
Loud and clear. So what do you think about after lacrosse this year? Where do you think you're going to do?
So at the moment I'm a junior, and then I'm playing travel lacrosse over the summer.
Mhm.
So, I mean, obviously just have fun, see where things take me. But in the future, I'll make that decision, but I'm not so sure right now, I would say.
Yeah. How about you're going to be back for hockey next year?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that'll be fun times because your brother's playing on the same team,
That's right.
and you got to outdo him. You can't leave it, with your brother
Yeah.
outdoing you. He's actually played pretty good in lacrosse this year. I mean,
Yeah, he definitely
he
has.
showed that he's got a little talent, but you're probably the better athlete, right?
Of course.
Yeah. And Brody, what do you say? What do you think's going to be in your future?
I mean, I'm a sophomore, so I'm a little bit younger than Noah. I mean, obviously I've traveled like Noah. I mean, other than that, I don't really know.
You're going to stick with the lacrosse and you play a little football, right?
Yeah, I play football.
And but you stick with lacrosse and try to get your game better. Is that
Yeah.
kind of the plan?
Mhm.
And are all the girls chasing you guys or what?
No.
No.
I mean, I don't know. If
Nah, wouldn't say so.
No? Well, we got the dance team coming on Tuesday night, so I'll ask them if they interested in lacrosse players. They probably don't even know what lacrosse is, but that's okay. We'll educate them, right?
Yeah, I'm all good, but I appreciate it.
Yeah. How about the rest of the season. You're going on the road, and then you got the tournament at Romeo.
Yeah.
I mean, so in your crystal ball, I mean, what do you guys got to do to sort of peak at the right time at tournament time?
I'd honestly just go back to like the unity as a team. If we can go into that game like not as like how one person's feeling, but if we feel good as a team, like everyone knows they have each other's backs, and I feel like we could do anything we want.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we need to play all 4 quarters, like what Jack said. Like, sometimes we either don't start off hot or we don't end it. So, obviously, we have to play all 4 quarters and be together the whole way.
Okay, that's a pretty clear message. So you got to come together,
Yeah.
and make some victories here, especially against the 2 gross points. I think if you can beat those 2 guys and give you a good jump start into the tournament.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, fellas, I appreciate you stopping by here in the Romeo Sports Recap, and I wish you luck the rest of the way.
Thank you for
Romeo
having us.
Lacrosse.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. And I'm here with some more players from the Romeo Varsity Lacrosse team, Adam Polis, Landon Dolan, and Joey Zyrick. And gentlemen, welcome to the Romeo Sports Recap.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So you guys had a kind of a pretty good start, 1, 2 out of 3 games. Looked like things were clicking pretty well. And then you played Grand Ledge, and they were one of the top teams in the state. First off, what was it like playing against a couple of guys, or at least a couple of guys I think are going to make the all-state team? I mean, how good really are they?
They're extreme talent, and it's hard to go against them, but you got to try your best.
What do they have that's special?
Just everything. They're great all-around players, stick skills, both left and right hand, and their IQ is unbelievable.
They're really physical too.
Yeah.
Their lefty attackman is their best player for sure. I played travel with him last summer. He was our best player.
Yeah.
And really smart, great stick, he's all-around athlete. Really doesn't have any weak point.
Yeah, he seemed to have a good acceleration step when he's going to the net.
Yeah.
And the goalie gets scared when that happens
Yeah.
because he got a good shot too. So anyway, and you tumbled, and you went in free fall until you played Eisenhower and you beat them this past week. When you beat Eisenhower, did that change some things? Change your season a little bit? Did it kind of right the ship a little bit?
I mean, I feel like we were expecting to win that game. Just one of those like teams that haven't been very good the past few years.
Yeah, it was great to get on the winning side
for
again because we were on a loose streak last week.
And obviously a rival, so that's a good thing. You won 2 out of 3 last week, so you had a tough game against Dakota. I mean, I think you got killed in that game. You have a tough position. You're behind the net, and then sometimes you try to come out in front a little bit, and I don't know why you do that because you're taking a beating every time you do that. I mean, do you think about that? How you know you're going to get hit? What?
Not really. I feel like I'm not even thinking when I'm playing. So.
Well, coach is still here, I think. No. I mean, you hit like Joey on a couple nice passes, and a couple of the other guys got some good passes. When you're behind the net? I mean, you got to see everything, right?
You sort of kind of look for, like when it's swinging around, you kind of look for the crease guy or the wing, but sometimes the very up top where Joey is kind of wide open. He just takes that shot.
And coach made some comments and some of the highlights we saw. Joey, some people weren't even like guarding you in the middle.
Yeah.
They weren't that close, and your eyes like kind of light up and get excited about that.
A few times, I'll just like know it's a little too big. I drop the ball, like if there's a wide open shot like that. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean it and you made some nice passes to it. You made a nice like what they call a skip shot.
Yeah.
That beat the goalie. And do you work on that in practice, or?
Yeah, that's a really important shot to have in your arsenal. Just like low to high. If the goalie's sitting low, you go low off the ground, and then it goes right over his head, and it's usually a good way to beat a good goalie.
Yeah, and And Adam, your shot from behind the net, you try to stuff it. It seems like
Yeah.
when you come through there, but sometimes you get stuffed. I think.
Yeah.
And Lanny, you've been playing a pretty physical brand
I
out
try to
there,
keep it like that.
and I'll ask you the same question I asked Brody. You know, do the other players when you're smacking them say "ow"?
Not really. I'm a little guy, but I try my best out there.
Yeah. What? How about Dakota? That was pretty physical for us.
That is a very physical game. They're one of our big rivals. We beat them last year. They were looking for the revenge, and they came out hot.
And did they talk to you a little bit out there?
Yeah, they talk a little bit of smack, but don't have to listen to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. What do you think as far as the remaining schedule for the games?
I think we can easily win out. We just have to put some effort, work, and I don't know, just teamwork to
Yeah,
beat the tough teams.
Speak to that teamwork, Joey. You've been around a long time. I mean, what is it? What does it mean in lacrosse teamwork? Does that mean everybody touches the ball or what?
I mean, it's really just playing unselfishly. So if you're getting double teamed, it's really important just to move the ball because there's going to be somebody open, of course. And these past 2 games, I really try to focus on that, especially against Dakota. And it just, yeah, it's really important.
And same question to you. The teamwork thing, what does that mean to you, Adam?
I think it's just like everyone working together, everyone like knowing where each other is on the field. I feel like Dakota game we didn't do that really well in the first half, so the third quarter I think we stepped it up, but then fourth quarter we lost our rhythm. So
What do you think, Landon, as far as the teamwork goes? Does that mean less individual effort or what?
Nah, it just means like everybody stay focused, know their roles, and what they have to do in a certain moment.
And your goaltending, I mean, it's been hot and cold. I mean, Braden made some nice saves right in front of the goal. I mean, I'd be scared. I'd be the Matador goalie. You know, I'd move right out of the way. Don't shoot it hard at me. But unless I look like the Michelin man out there with all that protection and everything. But is that made it some games? I mean, the defense looks very strong. Goalie looks very strong, and then other games, I mean, it just seems to like fall apart. What do you attribute that to?
I mean, Walls, we trust Walls with everything. Walls is a great goalie. But when you just have other teams that can shoot, like, pinpoint their shots, it gets difficult.
Yeah, they get a little bit. I mean, he can't cover the whole area of the net, but you know that's difficult for him. What do you think's going to happen the rest of the way? You got 3 away games coming up and the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna win out.
yeah, we have to.
Yeah, so you guys all got together and decided that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hope
Other
so.
option.
I hope so. Adam, what when you're not doing lacrosse, what are you doing?
Schoolwork and hang out with friends.
Yeah, you don't do fishing or hunting or anything like that?
Nope.
Some of the girls on the softball team do. They go fishing and they're telling me about how to skin a bluegill. Like Field and Stream. How about you,
I
Lance?
just hang out with my friends, focus on school.
Yeah, where do you guys hang out at?
People's houses. We find stuff to do.
Yeah. And how about you, Joey?
I hunt a little and fish a little, you know.
There you go.
Well, I, of course, have friends.
There you go. Can you skin a bluegill?
Yeah.
Because I can't. I grew up in Shelby. We had all these lakes around, man-made lakes in Shelby, and what we would catch was bluegill, and we always had to throw them back in, but because nobody knew how to skin them. But probably not a good idea to eat them out of Shelby anyway.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, well, good luck to you guys the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And let's end it with a nice peak. All right.
Might as well.
For sure.
Deal? All right. Great thing. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Again.
Okay. Thank you for joining the Romeo Sports Recap. I'm Tim Meyer for the Romeo Lacrosse team. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this episode of the Romeo Sports Recap Show, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. You can subscribe to the Mitt TV YouTube page and click the notification bell to stay up to date on the latest episodes of the Romeo Sports Recap. Or you can find us on Spotify and follow our podcast.
Romeo Sports Recap. From the Mitt TV, I'm Tim Meyer, signing off with a final word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com.